Kashi at dawn, a walk through the lanes of light and history. We woke up at 3:30 a.m. and by 4 o'clock we set out to see the Ganges. Many roads were blocked. Construction of the ropeway and ongoing roadworks, along with heightened security for the Mauritian Prime Minister's scheduled visit to the Vishwanath Temple at 9 a.m., had led to heavy restrictions. Policemen were stationed at every junction. After circling around for some time, Rajesh finally managed to find a place to park. In the dim morning light, we noticed a man burning pieces of coal, gently blowing on them to keep the fire alive. A small teapot sat above the embers. The tea he served came in tiny cups, hot, flavorful, and unexpectedly refreshing. It cost just 10 rupees. The tea seller, Rajan, told us he had retired from the police force and chose to run a tea stall for the independence it offered. We wished him well and continued on foot. After walking for a while, we reached Sushil Babu's shop. Following his suggestion, Rajesh guided us through the narrow gullies towards Manikarnika Ghat. The lanes were quiet, a few tea shops were just opening their shutters. The buildings were mostly old, two-storied structures with commerce below and living spaces above. No large vehicle can ever pass through these lanes. Soon our walk came to an abrupt halt. The Ganga had spilled into the lanes leading to the riverbank. A cloudburst in Uttarakhand had sent torrents of water racing down to Kashi, flooding the Ghats. Boating had been suspended. Small boats were tied helplessly to the banks. The bathing platforms and cremation sheds had been swept away. The river ran muddy and fierce. From the gullies, where water stagnated, the Ganga wasn't even visible. To get a clear view of the river, we had to pay 1,000 rupees to travel about 500 meters inland in a small boat, a welcome income for the boatmen who had lost their livelihood overnight. They urged us to take a dip in the muddy water, but we politely declined. Bodies were being cremated on a raised cement platform. The heat of the firewood was intense, yet the relatives waited calmly for the cremation to finish before taking a dip in the river. Strangely, there was no smell of burning flesh. We took photographs of the cremations and the fierce, swollen river. Only the crown of a nearby riverside temple was visible, the rest lay submerged. Thousands perform rituals around it when water levels are normal. It was barely 5 a.m., still dark. We returned to the gully by boat and walked back to Sushil's shop. Sushil, polite as ever, immediately began assembling puja items based on our group size. Most visitors purchase offerings for Kashi Vishwanath and Annapurna. He told us that we could offer leaves and flowers at the temple and carry the sweets back. The baskets cost 350 rupees for small, 500 rupees for medium and 750 rupees for large. Although I told him we did not intend to perform a puja, he behaved as though it was unavoidable. Finally, we bought 2 baskets for 700 rupees. We left our bags and mobile phones at his shop. Only puja items and purses were allowed inside the temple. Sushil summoned an elderly man to guide us. His name was Jawaharlal Pandey. Thin-bodied but sharp-faced, he walked with a stick, not for support but to scare away dogs and monkeys that often snatch puja items. 75 years old, yet incredibly fast. We had to quicken our pace to keep up. We walked through gullies filled with cattle dung, stray dogs, sleeping people, and accumulated dirt. Eventually, we reached the temple. There were security checks, but the process moved quickly. The Vishwanath Temple stands on the western bank of the Ganges. It is one of the 12 sacred Jyotirlingas. Ancient Kashi, densely populated for centuries, was known as the City of Light. Devotees believe that dying in Kashi or worshipping the Jyotirlinga grants liberation from rebirth. The Kashi Khada of the Skand Purana gives the city several names: Rudravasa, Avimukta, Anandakanana, Mahashmashna. According to legend, Shiva holds Kashi aloft on his trident, the 3 tines representing its 3 regions. Omkara Khada, the Rajghat area in the north. Vishveshwara Khada, the central plateau. Kedar Khada, the southern region. The temple stands on the highest central plateau. The Kashi Khada mentions 1099 temples in the city at the time of its writing, 513 dedicated to Shiva alone. The main temple had 5 mandapams: the Garbhagriha, Gnan Mandapam to the east, Shringar Mandapam to the west, Ashwarya Mandapam to the north, and Mukti Mandapam to the south. Adi Shankaracharya revered Kashi as the supreme spiritual center. In his Kashi Panchkam, he compared Kashi to the human body. The gold-plated temple towers gleamed in the early morning light. The surroundings were astonishingly clean, no litter, no plastic. A wide open plaza now connects the temple directly to the Ganga. The entire area has been paved with marble and maintained meticulously. Entry through the special queue cost 300 rupee per person. We were in the same line but did not pay. Pandey's familiarity with the guards likely ensured our smooth entry. In the queue, monkeys darted around, triumphantly snatching puja baskets from devotees. After visiting the Vishwanath and Annapurna temples, Pandey led us to a covered well inside the complex. Locals believe that priests hid the original idol in this well before Aurangzeb destroyed the temple. Whether historically accurate or not, the belief remains strong. When we offered 100 rupees to the priest sitting nearby, he refused. He said he did not accept anything below 500 rupees, a reminder that even sacred rituals are not immune to inflation. The history of the Kashi Vishwanath Temple is a story of repeated destruction and unwavering revival. The first recorded attack on the temple took place in 1034 CE, when Ahmad Nialtigin raided the region. More than a century later, in 1194 CE, the temple suffered major destruction under the armies of Qutbuddin Aibak. During the period between 1236 and 1240 CE, Razia Sultana constructed a mosque at the site, marking yet another interruption in the temple's continuity. In the mid-15th century, between 1440 and 1457, Mahmud Shah Sharki carried out further demolitions. This was followed by an attack by Sikandar Lodi in 1494, which once again left the structure devastated. After these cycles of destruction, a period of reconstruction began. In 1585, Narayana Bhatta, with the support of Raja Todarmal, rebuilt the temple. Later, during 1605 to 1627, Veer Singh Deo undertook renovations to strengthen and embellish the sacred site. However, the stability did not last long. Partial demolition occurred during the reign of Shah Jahan. Soon after, in 1669, Aurangzeb ordered the complete destruction of the temple and built a mosque in its place, marking one of the most decisive moments in the temple's history. A major revival came more than a century later. Rani Ahilyabai Holkar reconstructed the temple, and the work was completed on 25 August 1777, ushering in a new era for the shrine. In 1841, Maharaja Ranjit Singh and Maharani Datar Kaur donated 1 ton of gold to plate the temple's domes, and the Bhosle Snanghat was also added during this period. The 7-foot-high Nandi stone sculpture, which still stands in the temple complex, was a gift from the Rana of Nepal. In modern times, the temple saw its most transformative development when Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation for the Kashi Vishwanath corridor in 2019. Spread across 50,000 square meters and requiring the relocation of 1,400 houses and establishments, the project opened to the public on 13 December 2021. Soon after, in February 2022, the sanctum's gold plating using 60 kilograms of gold was completed, giving the temple a radiant new presence. The ancient name Kashi comes from Ka, meaning radiance. The name Varanasi emerged from the rivers Varuna, north of the city, and Asi, south. Banaras, rooted in Pali and Hindustani, became common during the Mughal and British periods. Even today, all three names are used across the city. One of its railway stations is still called Banaras. The city's economy revolves around the Vishwanath Temple and the Ganges. Banaras silk is woven largely by the Muslim Momin Ansari community, while the yarn comes from Hindu suppliers. The fabric blends Persian artistry with Hindu motifs, a beautiful example of centuries-old cultural harmony. Ordinary people, Hindus and Muslims alike, desire only peace. Pandey told us that the close proximity of the Gyanvapi mosque and the Vishwanath temple often creates difficulties. He said that keeping fire and cotton in the same room is dangerous. He explained that even if local Muslims agreed to relocate the mosque peacefully, external political forces would never allow it. Several cases are ongoing in local courts, the High Court, and the Supreme Court along with ASI studies. Anyone who visits the area realizes that lasting peace will come only through consensus, not litigation. We paid Pandey 2,500 rupees, including the cost of the special queue. We knew Sushil would take a significant share. From there, we walked to another ghat. Thousands were performing Pitri Tharpanam. The river was still overflowing. A cycle rickshaw driver named Majnu, who had come from Bihar to earn a livelihood, offered to take us from the Ganga bank to St. Thomas Church. We paid him 300 rupees. He smiled widely, revealing teeth blackened by gutka, and rode off joyfully. That 300 rupees was enough for him for the entire day. That was Majnu's happiness index. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you.